part 4 of my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Hopefully, hopefully I'm doing laundry behind. Hopefully the washer and dryer noise is not too bad. It seems okay. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it get picked up on the mic in OBS, so I think we should be good. So we're just gonna jump back into it. We were about to talk to, I forget his name, but the cafeteria manager. And I think we're gonna explore that back room.
Can I help you?
Oh. That's gonna bug me. Get the lieutenant out of my body.
Can I help you?
I need a drink. Can you pour me one? Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this... He points to his empty hand. Is this a shaker? He sounds irritated. You sound irritated. Why? All I want is a drink. Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? He shakes an imaginary shaker furiously. Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No? Do you know why? Because you're not a bartender? That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. He calms his breath. I'm glad we cleared that. Was there anything else? Play it calm. This man needs to understand. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff. I'm an alcohol-operated detective. If you want me to clean up the dead body and solve the case, you need to insert alcohol into my mouth. Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice big refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple? Glass. Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do. Broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it. Does this work the other way? Like, what if I did... You don't understand the series. Alright, cool. I've seen something here at the Whirling, Gartier. A thing I need to talk about. He rolls his eyes. What thing? I saw a sign that said this mess hall is reserved for the Union. Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. He tosses his head in disdain. They come in here in the evenings, dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit, but they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time. Find out who is in the Union box. He gives you a meaningful nod. We should find out who this loud faction is occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. How do we find them? We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. He looks toward the booth. Men are hungry, even men on strike. You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Ha! It's after 1600. The sign said reserved starting at 1600. Why isn't anyone in the mess hall? There are people. Good question. He turns to the cafeteria manager. They're probably getting drunk or protesting somewhere or laying low after the, lynching. Whatever he may feel about you, he can't miss the opportunity to throw you a look of what he assumes is shared understanding. Go with it. Nod sagely. Yes, I think I see. The Union guys think they're untouchable. They probably fucking killed that guy or something. And now they can hide out till it all blows over and it's fair weather again in Martinet. The lieutenant thinks. I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it, it's just a door, he shrugs. Do you know what's behind it? Do you have... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. There's my... There's my dryer. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just the Frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust. He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, a little, he shrugs, but my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Something else I wanted to talk about. What? By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later. Okay. By the way, I'm going to sing karaoke here. Absolutely out of the question. You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Absolutely in the question. First we need to find a sad banger, then we sing this place to shit. So about the money I owe. Yes. Have you got it? How much do I owe you again? A lot. For the room and the broken window, 100 real. We got 117. Let's do it. I have your money. He glares at you suspiciously. Well? Let's apologize. Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Alright, we did it. Pay for damages plus 70 XP. Yeah. Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask you please pay your nightly bill in advance, starting tomorrow. He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. He taps his foot again against a metal box installed in the back of the bar counter. All the doors lock automatically at 2100. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night. He opens his wallet. I'll take a room here too. Of course. Takes the money and hands him a key ring. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Bye. Oh, he has something to say?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Yes, my hostel room calls. The lieutenant nods. We can pick up where we left off tomorrow morning. It's all about money. How many skill points we have? Try to pass some skill checks. Alright. So then we're going to call it a night for day one now. I'm I'm gonna go ahead and pop a save. Can we talk to this lady again? Is this gonna be his room? I bet it is. Probably. This is the door to the room you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum.
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I didn't know you smoked, Ken. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes? I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of a cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Right then, a debrief. Yes, he pulls out a cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal. We still have to get him down from the tree. I still can't believe I missed that shot. Being sober tends to help with precision, but moving on to the interviews. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. That's one on the to-do list for tomorrow. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. He purses his lips. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just wait until we get up tomorrow. I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast, the rest has to keep up. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on the cigarette. It's impressive, to say the least, for a man your age especially. Like I'm still carrying this fucking hobo bag. He smiles suddenly. Those some stylish shoes too, by the way. Those loafers. Must be hard to run in those like you do. So what are our powers exactly? The RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses in accordance with the interdepartmental schedule. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount, he frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip that prevents confusion and overcrowding. Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see, and if someone resists? We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim? Yes, he pauses. The last time was 4 years ago. He says it matter-of-factly and moves on. Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for incompetencies. It is hard to cover for everyone, which is for the best. Have I killed anyone? That's an improbability, perhaps even impossibility. I don't know if I really want to know. Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict, we arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Coron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it is paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket where he keeps his note. And who makes all these rules? The coalition government? Yes, the international community's mission in Revachol and the moral lantern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order, no more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Say nothing. Silence, a great comment to such a conundrum. The Moral Lantern, what is it? The Moralist International. Okay, Moral Intern. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. Pulls on his cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know, how would you describe them? They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are Delurians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by her innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. What is their symbol? Interesting question. It's a forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Seemingly almost self-explanatory. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Who was Dolores Day? A historic figure? The author of the modern age, he thinks? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. What do you think of them? The Moral Intern are a fact. I try to not have opinions on facts until they change, and he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like the Moral Intern? Yes, I did. When I was younger, in my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky, he quotes. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now, he thinks, then changes his mind. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. I have an opinion on the Moral Intern. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on a cigarette. On his cigarette, it's a slim white thing in his fingers. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen the place? This isn't humanism. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Maybe we should make our own law. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinet we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. Say nothing. Look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, the luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me. Thanks. This little stick right here. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here." And the mouth on that kid, Kuno, is different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, the Union, for the company, not daring to come back here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdiction of our 2 precincts, and in Jamrock and the GRIH. He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are," he shakes his head, "but we are in control. And it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. And if they didn't, this place would disintegrate." "We won't change anything." "Probably not," says quietly. "Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our action. Thank you for this." "Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go." He puts out his stub of a cigarette and looks to the door. I have a thought. I don't really understand why inventory keeps lighting up like that. Nothing new. It looks like every 100 experience points we get a level up. Like, that's good enough. Alright. See you in the morning. What was the check over here? We try to do this? Hang on. Let's try the interface. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet in place. Well, you know one thing for sure. Probably never. Still not happening. It won't come off that easy. We'll put some points into stuff. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. All in. Okay. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in a bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault? Check the pillow. The synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here. Intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? No more. Who killed him? Who? Something to do with, what was it the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Oh, dream sequence? Oh, you can't go this way, I see. Headed to the body. Me. With a disco ball.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering you before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
Elysium. I wish all of the game was voiced like this. Stuff is cool. I'm sure they were operating on a pretty slim budget, though. What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh boy. Not doing so good. Good going, buddy. My God, what the hell was that? Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? Just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. Keeps you propped up all day. Yes, it kept you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else would you think you got up from the floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. Me. Wake up at exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. That's hilarious. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. Oh, it's that simple. No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for... Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically a week? Let's be honest. 2 weeks, maybe 3? You won't make it. Half of the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be... Do it yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark. Where do I meet the detective? Downstairs? Good morning.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Why do we need to talk to them? Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging him, the circumstances of Martinet, my preliminary information, which may of course all be wrong, but we still need to talk to them. It won't be easy. What do you mean rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinet isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. Are these the men Garte told us about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at his notes. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them, by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. Okay. He crosses something out. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. There are so many of them, maybe we should call in reinforcements? That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth the conflict between the RCM and the Debardeurs Union. In fact, not even the death of two detectives might... even the death of two detectives might not warrant an all-out war, so let's keep a cool head, okay? Let's roll. One more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't want to have them... We don't want to talk to them immediately. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder? They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. Good wait. Level up.
Can I help you?
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the
And
cafeteria
there's no
manager.
public phones nearby.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager
fine.
appears genuine.
I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up. Howdy, Elena. What's kicking?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, but at the moment her mind is on more serious
The
matters.
union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
She sighs. Wait, what's wrong with the phone
The
line?
manager was vague about it.
Frowns. What do you need to use the phone? Why do you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who is house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to be back on Monday night, but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
He glances out the window toward the bay. What is this expedition your husband was on? Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down to the coast, across the water lock, to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. She sighs. What could be keeping them? The water lock. That was broken. Could this be it? Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him? She smiles. Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary is as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. The water lock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there. Oh my, what happened to the water lock? Probably just some technical problem. Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. She turns to Kim. To both of you, you've spared me another sleepless night. You're welcome, ma'am. She turns back to you. I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired, and it's cold out there. If I see him, I'll let him know you're here, when or if I get there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. So your husband is some kind of scientist? Oh, yes, he says with a pinch of pride. A zoologist, a cryptozoologist to be more precise. What is cryptozoology? It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends. The lieutenant sounds unimpressed. That's one opinion, yes. People are entitled to their opinions. My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby. It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species, called cryptids, is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. She completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. Seriously? You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot. I want to know everything about cryptids. Living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on. We don't have time for cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we? Tell me more about Morel, looks, character, and your relationship. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. What does your husband look like? Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but the eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's, and his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world. Let's try again. If I were to meet him on the street, what would I look for? Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed, you might say wild even. The lieutenant pulls on his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description. One thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds. You know, just in case. How long have you been married? We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Her smile is soft. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. How did the two of you meet? Via a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are, she smiles wistfully. She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later. I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on. I hope I've been useful. Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. She catches herself. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae. The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, I want to hear about the insect. Well, she hesitates. It's a phasmid, technically, but... Oh yeah, here comes the interesting. Where the other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulidian coast. She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully, hence the name, the Insulidian phasmid. Perhaps you'll come up with co-discovering the phasmid with us all. I knew it, the lieutenant sighs. We're going to be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists. It's not made up, officer, I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. What makes you think the phasmid is around here? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local paper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have? Of course. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Elysium phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. So is it dangerous? She chuckles to herself. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Is it valuable? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Does it have cool powers? Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. Her face lights up at the thought of it. It's how it's stayed hidden all these years, centuries even. Okay, what's so special about this stick bug then? Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. The woman's face flushes embarrassment. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure. That's all for now, ma'am. Soft purr of an electric juicer comes from the kitchen. Tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can... A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and lays something in a completely and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Gorsi and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not. It's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Gorsi Kubek. Please, it's not funny. Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions? The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. Do you know what's behind that door? He looks up at you, then away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. You've got some impressive pots there. He smiles and bangs a ladle against each of the pots in turn. I don't think I need to say anything else. Stay masculine. Pretty much nothing. It's all about money, you know.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to...
Officer, discotheque. Still wondering if we listen to disco? We don't, by the way. We don't listen to disco anymore.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice. You're the gardener. You're the gardener.
No, I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dockworkers Union.
She crosses her arms.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy. You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
He points to the man on her right.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize the authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks. What's your role in all this? Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Crosses her arms. Do you have hearing problems? What if I want to talk to you, not Titus? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority in Martinez or no one. Be straight with me. What kind of music do you listen to? She looks as if pondering whether to answer you, then shakes her head slightly. Anecdotic dance music. Wouldn't get it. Dance music, basically disco. I know all about it. No. She steadies her breathing. Not Disco. Disco is undead. The hell it is. I guess it's fair to say you guys have it on life support. What do you mean, us guys? Gilmdor. The left jab right in the looker. A lot of people out there appreciate a good disco breakdown. I don't care. You're right, I wouldn't know anything about anything. What is an audit community? Beyond the horizon. You will never be able to experience it the way she does. She's even a bit sad about it, and the feeling passes. Okay, let's put on a new record. Let's. What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach. What are we going to do to you? He starts laughing. It's a cold laughter, devoid of joy. The union isn't going to do anything to you. It's not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization. Rough man. Rough hump from the table. Goddamn right it is. Right as hard. Damn. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. She shakes her head, but we digress. Why are you so aggressive? Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers. So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers. Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards. Fuck yeah. The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your common commanders. I liked that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? Look, a comedian. Her expression stiffens. Do your job. Ask your questions, then get out of Martinet. Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop should be a socialist revolutionary. I should talk to Titus then. Yeah, I like the weird. I'm like role-playing like the weirdest character. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Drink up, boys. Social democracy's paying. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and union placards. See a hawthorn bush outside? Behind the dock where there's killing one. Hawthorn branch. Us bony fingers. Squint. There's a little side panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in the spring and stuff. It's not time yet. Okay, avert your gaze. That's interesting.
This is where you say your bits.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective?
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note, leaving it to you. We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
Oh. This is Matt Chrisman from Chapo. I just noticed.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he's a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
I like the crowd.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. And the room for... No, he points... Oh, I fucked up. No, he points at himself. Eyes here. You got business with my boys, you got business with me. He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them. Now watch the other guys fuck it up by falling out of line. Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy. That's the scrawny rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing in the front. Yes, falling out of line to please him. This is the best kind. And now this guy is going to... Relax, Dennis, no one is fucking you yet. He says the 40-something man from the corner with a plectrum hanging from his neck. Use it to take a dig at his friend. Floodgates open. Yeah, Dennis, calm down. A blonde man in his 30s agrees. No one's fucking with you, you stupid fuck. Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind. You notice gang tattoos. The man must be either masquers. This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead, but not one to be taken lightly. The last one's a bit of a black sheep. Yeah, the fat guy in the middle lets out a little chuckle. You're not even being fucked, Dennis. Easy, fellas, we got company. Titus puts an end to it. Let's see what brings the cop around. Too late. You already got a pretty good picture of these guys. You can use this. Okay. Might need to kind of go back as we... What can I use it for? You could take another look at the tracks in the yard, see if they fit with the characters here. It could be incriminating. Let's try this. Man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it? The pretty boy? He takes a sip from his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck? Container belt? Like we use in the harbor? Yes. Why? Because we took it, he says, from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did it. We did this. He looks you dead in the eye. Together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. Aha. Aha, so you just confessed to murder? Goddamn right, No, the woman interjects. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened, but you don't have to waste any more of your time. You murdered him just like that, no remorse? How many people have you sent to the chase? Ever felt remorse for them? Or sent them to reunion to rot for 20 years for life, he says, as if it was worse than dying. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. But you see, a lawman, he says, squeezing his beer can, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die. Who called the shots that night? Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all Hardy boys. Shadow of a smirk passes her lips and she tilts her head. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here? Who do you think fucking think does? He sounds more amused than angry. You do. You give the commands. That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas? He looks around for approval. Titus grins. I think you got your answer, Mr. Claw. No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read, but on that night, they all acted as one man. When did this hanging incident occur? You don't have to keep answering his questions. Fixer turns to find Titus. I know, Lizzie, relax. He takes a sip. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week. How long had you known the victim? Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole. Yeah, who do you think we are? Quiet. Titus gives Glenn a stern look. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy? By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for Wild Pines? The lieutenant pretends to check his notes. The same company you're striking against? No, he stresses. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know that. But you know what? He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say. When you ask her hard enough. That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. She turns to you. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. Why did you kill him? Why? He hisses through his teeth. Because he was a worthless mercenary scum, and he stepped out of line in my town. So he was a mercenary, that's it? And he stepped out of line, he repeats, jaws clamped shut like a vice. What kind of mercenary? The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Lee Schmin and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Orange Special Forces. A live grenade, the man spreads his arms. Right here in our bar. This one has a special gripe with him coming here. I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike here, from here to Samara. Right, but what did he actually do wrong? Wrong, he roars. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning. He wipes spittle from his mouth. There's a slight unease in him. Suddenly, he regrets mentioning the rape. To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. Cracks his knuckles. That was before he started coming here. Yeah, he said this was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night, drinking, grabbing girls, grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage. He grabbed someone? The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Yeah, this girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked over on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down. He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, he said? Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen. Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening? He repeats like a parrot. Right, well, who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation. No. There's a moment of silence. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez secret, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns. How did you kill him? We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper? Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot? This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know. What you know. We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of... Titus, you don't have to clarify anything. We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady. Then we left him for seagulls, maggots. Seagulls, maggots. Then the man, small man, points to you, and you fucks. And you fucks. Make him a bit more uncomfortable first. Then See if it all adds up. How did you manage to overpower him? With numbers, asshole. How do you think? He looks at the woman. You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here. No, he hasn't. Not yet. Where did this overpowering happen? Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. He looks around. It happened right here. Alright, I'm gonna give this a shot. Things aren't quite right here, are they? Oh, shit. Okay. Ah, fuck. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room, given how many questions you lobbed their way. All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure? Well, this one, but he's always fidgeting. Don't get your hopes up. Right, I have other questions about the lint. Like what, Copper? Why don't I just arrest you? Yeah, lawman. He takes a step closer as well, fixing his ball cap. Why don't you? Not in the arresting mood? His mean little eyes come alive with hatred. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss and steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you. Easy now. Let's just talk. Wise move. He leans back against the table. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again. So what are we going to do now? Nothing. Her reply comes sharp. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez. Go back to your stations. I think we're gonna stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. The lieutenant closes his notebook. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. I'm going to look into it. Good luck with that. He grabs another beer. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is going to hear from a real law official. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his... Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easy now. Okay, sweet. I take off now. Unbelievable. Alright, sweet. Alright.
Looking for something, Runt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
See if we can buff some of this stuff. See what's in here. That's just healing, right? I'll have the cigarette. And I'll have the... There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The first Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into the fire for you. Pull one out of the pack. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself. Oh yes, Breton. The tie is shaking around your neck excitedly. Please light up. You need a trooper between your lips right now. Calm your shit down. Go to Pleasureland. Become a genius. Light it up. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, Johnny. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of his thumb, there's fire, a primal satisfaction. Here we go. Hey, you can't smoke in here. Oh, that's funny. The girl's voice betrays little interest or enthusiasm. She doesn't even look up as she... Please don't fuck with Frit. Shut up, it's already happening. What are the repercussions if I do this? Repercussions, there's a high risk of glory with a mild chance cool genius. Smoking makes you into an intellectual. Everybody knows that. It will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. It only lets you concentrate because you're in nicotine withdrawal. It only mitigates its own blah blah blah. Boring. Light it up. I have a quest to do. Dip that bad boy in flame and breathe in. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls. Yeah, we did the task. In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a smokes button. Click it to gain +1 to intellect skills, logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, calculus, drama. This is good before a white check, but damages your health. Same thing, but with drink now. Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens. With the bottle. What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% of alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before it gets too warm. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. Open the bottle. There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off and the hair on the back of your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now. What will be the repercussions if I take that sip? Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. Take a sip. Wait. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done. Substance used, alcohol, Pilsner. Pass complete, find booze and drink it. Pretty experience. In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a drink button. It gives +1. Gives +1 to physique skills, physical instrument, half light. Electrochemistry, endurance, pain threshold, shivers. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your morale. And remember, from the void we came, and to the void we must return. So many more thoughts. Alright, let's try it with the lorry driver, since we had a drink.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Alright, I'm gonna level this up. Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often. Kim, I think I should tell people to fuck off more often. It felt really good. Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off. Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. That's the spirit. Nice. Never forget the whole world's a wooden house and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Give it a shot. Damn it! Alright, I'm gonna scum this. I just wasted a skill point. God damn it.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
God damn it. Alright, I'm only gonna do it. What the fuck?
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to
Yeah.
fuck off again?
Men like this only respect two things, strength and fear. Time to turn up the volume. Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry. Where is it? Fuck you, I told you I'm not gonna... There, his voice grows smaller. As yours... What's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Madre to fuck off. Look, fuck you, man. He tries to wave you off. It's some lorry down there, green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is. When did she go away? I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't seen her for days. Where exactly is her lorry? Past the monument, down there, he waves south. The green tempo. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay? Small tempo by the monument. Green. He turns to you. Let's get into that lorry. Looks like you've got his adrenaline up too. Right, I'm going. Alright. Now I'm gonna try not to like most of down by the It's down by the, monument? Oh, this one. This green foam A to Z contemporaneous parked on the shredder in better days. Must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying. The lieutenant peeks inside. Try to peek in the window. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. Tried the door handle. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. How are we going to open this, Kim? Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. Really? This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder. Okay. Yeah. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar, a grid of light catching the tip. Haul down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, Lori Cabin. Say fuck the police and then smash it. The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. Subtle, says the lieutenant, sticks his hand in the window like a common car thief, and then opens it. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. Admire the posters. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films, from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an injury attached right above. Study the centerfold. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? You can't put your finger on whom exactly. This is Tipe Pajon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than for her tragic, untimely death. What happened to her? She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too. Enough of the book. The actress and the rare actor all smile at you and goodbye. The radio transmitter. Examine the radio. It doesn't look like the frequency dial is absent. It looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver. Kim leans closer to the radio and hums, "Strange, there are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. Why would anyone need so many radio stations? We're contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example." He flicks a switch on the radio. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we're dealing with an impressive organizational tool, the nerve center of a huge operation, with quite the range too. Is there anything else we can do with the radio? Is there anything we can do with the radio? Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. What else is here? Check the smell of the pedals. Check the pedals. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like a few tools lying around here. A hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip. Sandpaper, the lieutenant repeats. A novel technique. Back up into the cabin again. Pull out the pull-out toolbox. The metallic drawer slides out from its seat. The seat, it's empty except for a folded newspaper. Unfold the newspaper. An issue of Paris from what? Paper falls up from its pages. Pick up the note. It looks like an article ripped from the Radio Enthusiast magazine, complete Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Euler frequency. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache. The lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note. Euler frequency system? I've never heard of that before. All I know of is FM, AM, UKV, but his thoughts trail off. You close the rusty old lorry door. Great, I think we got everything. A word, detective? He steps away from the lorry before we return.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim? Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it. I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency, or maybe it's used to tap into the RCM network. Listening in on your calls between you and your station? A worrying prospect. What about all the movie posters? How do they factor in? As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role. A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. Yes, well, he doesn't say more. Unimportant? How do you think this is connected to the Union? We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. Somehow I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his... My suggestion is we use it against the Union for their own ends. It's a slippery eel, but we might be able to pin them down indirectly down the road. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynch. When we're done for the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, some of them sometime later when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that. Stops to think. What are you thinking? The fact that one hasn't already started gives me pause. An investigation, I mean, especially if the Madre grouping is involved. I can't imagine they aren't. It certainly worries. Corruption? He nods. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Okay, debrief over? Debrief over, he nods. After you. Hey, officer. Stop between his truck. Whoa, what? Nice. I found those before I bought this one.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Wait, so you did know something about who's smuggling drugs around here? Nah, man, I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay, sort of troubled, but still, nice person. What else do you know about her? Nothing, we just talked a bit about life and stuff. She left me her keys, so I can park her lorry if the jam broke. He looks to you. So is she in trouble or what? Sorry, man, I can't disclose the facts of an ongoing official investigation to you. It's that bad? He lets out a whistle, looking about 10 years older suddenly. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? I really don't know. Damn, I always warned her to watch herself. Man, nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can. What's the plan with those rhymes anyway? Oh, you know, the thought lightens him up. Tommy LaHome's gonna be a musician. Rich gang, but I gotta craft. Why Tommy LaHome? Tommy LaHome was taken. He looks... My real name is Jeffrey Lafitte. Or Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better. More him. Maybe we could get the key for him. If we failed that skill check, I guess is the idea. Okay, I guess let's go check the footprints and dust. Oh, there's that woman. How do we get up there? There are several footprints in the mud left by work boots. How do you use them? Oh, minutes left. I get an exact count. Nice. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? Right, the Hardy Boys in the mess hall of a whirling and standard work boot, reinforced toe, no. His boot. This is the big dick, Titus Hardy. The one with the ball cap on his... Interesting. Is it? They didn't even bother to change. Putting them on. Maybe... counting. Standard work boot, blah blah blah. Old muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a... hobnailed work boot, stealing 4 toes. Banger, perhaps? The old smoker. You think you can even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print? What else? Another standard work boot. Same as before, either the musician you also bound on to Glenn. Light as air, some make a boot. Small like a rat shit. Should have gotten this earlier. Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark, and the cracks burn in it with strange beauty, not the red. The glowing outline of a standard work boot number 46. The imprints are twice as deep together as the weight exceeds Fat Angus. Bring something? And the last one. Another standard work boot number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. Right sole is smoother and more. Party boy. 7 sets of tracks, right? The lieutenant has been tracking your eye movements. The Hardy Boys were here. 8, actually. Huh. Well, we're setting up a little investigation here. That's so interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary? Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man? Light step, number 41 shoe. I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy, the one with the front teeth missing. Yes. I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. A heavy one, a 200 kilogram imprint. 200, he thinks for a moment. This could be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was the fat hardy boy, the one that's sitting in the middle. He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely. You're right, the fat guy from the booth was carrying the victim. Possibly yes, they'll mark something down in his notebook. But why? You're thinking, why did they have to carry him? Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just marched him up to the gallows. Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers, demonstrate his physical strength. Could he have been showing off? Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his... You mean a display of athletic ability meant to belittle the victim? A local champion carrying the intruder alone? I can see it. Anyway, the others? An aberration. One soul is smoother than the others. Interesting. Let's name it Odd Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is. Oh, this one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver. A driver would wear down their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. And remember that abandoned lorry cabin we found? With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle. Oh, shit! Him adjusts his glasses as his eyes light up with excitement. Which means the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching? That's it. She's the odd soul. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Now we know who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think the Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Understood. We should still go see what Titus Hardy has got to say on the matter. This might throw them off, work to our advantage. He read something down in his book. So what else? How old do you think these tracks are? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller who reported the hang. It is not possible. How do you know? I pulled the last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day. Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago. What do you think happened here? What do I think? A mob of people brought someone heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. And then, hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching. Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. So far, so good. Only one thing missing. He looks at the tracks, face lighting up from the realization. Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys. I know, 8 tracks, 7 Hardy Boys. Which one is missing, do you think? That's him. The odd soul was present at the... Yes, he corrects his... Yeah. That doesn't really work, but they did this. We've been through all of it. Inconspicuous pile of roof. What is this? It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material. Plant it again. Back. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of granite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door. Good. There it is. You see a shabby little door. Up. What is this then? A tool shed? Investigate. Will do. How do we get? I don't know how to get around. An empty tube of Magnus. Cured pig's head looks. Silver plate with traces of bone, yellow powder. Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying you. Studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere. Perhaps not. He looks at you. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, he points to the ladder in the... See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? Secret path the local kids use? Poster says, get out of the way or get fucked up. Alright. Exploration. This doorway is going to collapse soon. Restoration pillars keep the room. Yeah, money. Money. I'm glad they have this pathing, because I wouldn't figure out exactly how to walk this. Nice. Oh, is this an alternate way past that big dude? We still haven't confronted him. And money. Cash over. Policeman cloak. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloaking. Look, Lieutenant, someone left his cloak behind. Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. He judges the drop. You could probably make that jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. Out. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of engineer-like interest and the wonder for a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. Let him have this moment of wonder. His eyes gaze on the crane's contour as if trying to memorize its majestic shape. Then he notices your gaze. Yes, we were in the middle of something. Your cloak. What exactly are we doing up here? I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. This is why we're here, right? He doesn't wait for you to answer. Look around. He looks around when rustling his hair. Or is it we just could be exploring? He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump? The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, he looks over the edge at the cold pavement below. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters tops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you. The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide? second, not right now. Savior Fair. Okay, hold on. I don't know why it keeps lighting up my image, but that goes down. That goes down. Alright, let's go to the jump without putting points in. Go for it. Yes. Nice. Not to waste points. As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. Close your eyes, let the senses take in the world around you. Ankles tight, tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for rendezvous. Concrete pavement. Martinez goes about its daily routine as you soar through the air. The loud voices of protesters mix with sounds from the traffic jam. Waves crash against the pier, and then salty air fills your lungs. He's so on the money, Breton. Just imagine yourself dual-wielding a bottle and a flaming cigarette whilst airborne. Don't let go of the moment yet. The corpse is dominating the yard, and the stench is nauseating, even so far from the epicenter. It brings tears to your eyes. Noise! As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, and capable. Must be the adrenaline. I knew you could do it, the lieutenant exclaims. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now. What? You didn't have to jump with the feet firmly planted on the concrete. The noise of the harbor rushes with it. Nice. That's just esprit de corps, but this is esprit de corps and shivers. Hell yeah, I'm a policeman. Nonsense. Worth of cigarette butts, numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and Potent Pilsner. All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here. Wait, how hard? Well, they went through 6 bottles of Potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard. Did I do this? Well, the lieutenant looks at you and then the bottles. Yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. This is really sad. I must have been miserable. Yes, Lieutenant agrees. This scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on. He turns to leave. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads Rene Arnaud. This is where Rene works. I'm gonna look around. Who is Rene? If you must, the lieutenant looks around, but please hurry. We're pretty easy to spot up here. Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. Take the picture. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out on the street fair. The man dressed in robe. Oh, Rene! He was the guy who was playing the shot put, or whatever, that game with balls. Boule. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to good memories. Why did you take that picture of Rene? The lieutenant asks, glancing at the photo. I'm gonna ask him about it. You're really interested in that old soldier, he remarks, surprised. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time. All around you, great machines. Yes. White pines, trees are crouched onto those roads. Illumer on. You see favorite industrial lettering on the platform. The yard ahead is oddly quiet and great machine. The speaker tower is silent. There's no work to organize the yard below. Musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. Industrial-sized thermos smells like burnt coffee. Container. Banner sags under the weight of the rain. It's white waves on red.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
The accent is so thick it's impossible not to notice the vanishing peninsula of Hunt on Munty.
Container, used to be Walpines. Container, now belongs to Everett.
This The tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't know. Hi.
Everett. He looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an asshole for no apparent
I see you're not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
Shadow passes over his kind face. What is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know. And folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Yubi, right? Oh yes, born and raised in Arish, mister. Mom had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Yubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I came from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors. Thank you for clarifying that, sir. What are you doing with the containers? Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. He waves at the containers towering behind him. What's going on here? The containers in the yard are green and Wild Pine's livery, and the mountain racing behind Leo is all red in color. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. This looks like a massive redecorating operation. Yes, they're hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the bars you... Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers? No, not really. He shrugs and continues merrily. Mr. Everard doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everybody. Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all, the little guy affirms merrily. Where is everyone? The harbor is empty. Oh, most of the guys are down there at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. He leans in with a confidential look. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now. So no one is working? Not everyone down there, of course. He chuckles. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. Pauses to think. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble, and Everard sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so. He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. What trouble did Titus and his friends get into? Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Miles leans closer. Him and his boys stirred something up in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everard telling them to take some time off. Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow. But what did they actually do? I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know? Another chuckle. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school. Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the Hardys. He looks to you for assistance. Too rowdy? Leo, what kind of fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary? Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving and words are spewing forth. Words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some dark sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a priced fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut it with that questions. Do you work here? Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick, but everybody calls me Leo. The little man raises his hand as a welcoming gesture. I'm like Mr. Everard's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everard is away. Chuckles. Actually, Miss Buford is the right-hand man, but she's a lady. Good-hearted chuckle again. Who's Miss Buford? The lieutenant looks up at Leo. A real pretty lady with skin like those Dew and sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down besides the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Young this Miss Buford Tom. Hold on, who's this Miss Buford you mentioned? Oh, Lizzie? She's a real sharp tool. Mr. Everard put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. Oh, okay. But she's a real nice girl, grew up here in the neighborhood, knows everybody, and gets along with everybody. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. For a fraction of a second, there's a sadness in his eyes. He goes on, if me, Mrs. and me was having a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemertis said so. And he knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has. He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes. Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener? Okay, so the union fixer, the gardener? Looks like it. I'm not sure what a fixer is. She's a real nice girl, smart as a whip too. The little guy smiles, a disarming smile at you. What's in that container over there? Point at the container suspended from the arm. Oh, that one? He looks in the container. Should be as empty as far as I know. There's lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Offs then continually. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys and made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did. We were boys. Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man. Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is, in his office, of course. He points to the 2 joint containers on your right. Okay, I'm off. Bye-bye now. He returns to his work. Okay, that's what I thought. So they're in there. We'll come back. Stands tall, proud, erect, and surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. Yeah. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again now with its purpose has been fulfilled. Its purpose? What do you mean? Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted, and now it will rest. I can't see how that was worth the ruckus. He looks at the crane, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying. I can. Because we go inside of it. There's something in there. Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard. Kim, I think there's something about this container. The lieutenant sighs. Is this like your thing with the wall, with that wall again? Maybe, I can't tell. I think we should investigate further. You do? Because I don't. What? Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? I don't know, Kim. It just feels special. It's a cargo container, detective, just like all the others. He doesn't even look at it. We're not here to interact with containers. We're here to get the body down from the tree. No reply. Open the door. You attempt to turn the handle, but to no avail. The door seems mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. come back to talk to the union boss. I'd like to see up on the wall what we can do as well. What happens if we go in this door? Just make a cut through. Oh shit. Cool. The radio is emitting strange buzzings. Punch clock payphone. Closing comment. Come back to them. Every worker. This is a Dewey typewriter, the model name. Standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to... Someone left a coffee machine. Dark liquid in the pot looks like. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to just paperwork down like that. Let's see what's in it. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data, 2 kinds of transaction stamps coming from all the outside world from Monday to Friday. And the same materials being handed over to companies like Revision. Anything interesting? Hard to make sense of the thicket of company. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, force myself. Ah, I failed. Look how blurry all the lines in this paper are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. You're like an absurdist Samara monk focusing not to focus. Is that where you're doing with these folders over there? Yes. Right. Lieutenant's expression, so probably not relevant or... Back for that, I guess. -1. Let's put the 10. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. I have a series of facing. I have 5 skill points. Let's put one in. Also, yeah. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005, that's the dialing for 4952, that's the moment of hesitation. 93. Calling. Still calling. Then crackle, someone picks up, they say, Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. Let me, how may I help you? What is this place? Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lemmy. You know me? No. No, I meant what is this place to me? Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here? Why did I call you? Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Maybe, but I don't even know my name. If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. He sounds annoyed now. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done? He thinks you're pulling a prank on him. On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs Theo Revachol 24 hours. It's raining and there's almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprint in the mud leads away from the front door. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road, beautiful steps, light-footed, with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about the video rentals. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over. What was all shit? It. Him, I feel sad about Video Revachol 24 hour. That's enough for you today. Lieutenant says quietly, let's conclude this call. We're done. Hang up the phone. The door is locked and cannot be opened. You have no choice. Oh, I got like stuck up here. Okay. Coffee in the giant thermos is filled with fun. They are made up of hello there. Patty fish. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Evrard Clare. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing, simply stares at you. Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by.
Dubois.
Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Evrard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez.
Debargeurs. Martinez.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable, the tiny folding chair on the other. I got torn.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you and then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from it. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. That's fine.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Gives you a sly wink. Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Damaged health. The chair you're sitting on has got to be the worst, most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. Pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comical.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Points at it again. Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you... Wait, you know Garte?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the check again. It's like you're on a game show. Wait, at least don't thank him. Take the comically large check, but don't.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No. No, it's cool.
Cool? Wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager, but sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun, lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. Oh, wow. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two worlds escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be alright. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
Him.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I'll try. I don't want that. Yeah. It healed me, though. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and these children are going to shoot themselves with it. No, I'm not about to cry. I try to stay.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? Why is he... What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your...
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow in a manner, in kind of like a throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Sit upright.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask some questions. Police officer question. It's about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity. I want to talk about the hanging. Oh, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinet. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about, honestly. It's been weighing on me so heavily, I understand, but you need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, we could just calmly talk, exchange information. We could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good, the lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with all this thing weighing on me. Suddenly, he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're gonna open this one with flying colors, Harry. He chuckles. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it. Why don't you just open it yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. He slams his fist together. You look like you run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you. I repeat, I'm a very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what will it be, Harry? Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? A loud, blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. I bet you don't even know anything about the hang. Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper into the chair. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinet. Damn it, fine. I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. He flicks his fingers. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana is like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. What's in the container outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in the harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking, maybe that's the way you go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it. I met Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. He adjusts the button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals? Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. His smile widens. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy. I'm not a jealous guy. Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice. Joyce says the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. Man frowns, disapproved. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Wait, there was no mention of casserole from Joyce. Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole. Harry. He flicks his fingers. Do not fixate on a single matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, or if it's spilled blood you're looking, then there's certainly innocent pressure. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gamont? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. He looks down and sighs. God knows how long he's got left. You called him a midget. Harry, he exclaims indignant. I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his... I'm only kidding here. You're not a midget. No one is. Else. It's hard to say if he really lost his temper or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visitors. Everard, Joyce seems to think the Union is lowballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He's suddenly very serious. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types. His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would, and I wouldn't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that. Are you sure? I find it a little odd. I'm a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be here, or be where I am now if I wasn't nice. He slams his fist into his hand. Politics is all about emotion, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Okay, then. Positive emotions it is. You sound like positive... You like positive emotion. Okay, let's talk about something else. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. Perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely different, completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, he makes in an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. He looks around. Tell her how overweight I am, and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her everything. Bart doesn't mind. This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. His face turns serious. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. It's a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with you. Might even be holding your gun hostage. Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed, makes air quotes, factored in that you pawned it. Now, please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry. Relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez. It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. I will not be blackmailed with this gun business. Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around my neighborhood. His tone is suddenly very serious. Kids could be playing gun roulette as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming them. Get a hold of yourself. I assure you, we are working on locating the firearm as well. The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels the fact that you haven't prioritized looking for it, fortunate, if inevitable, doesn't put RCM. Excellent, Mr. Kutsuragi. That's excellent news. He claps his hands together. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. So much dialogue with this guy. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry. So that's really my name? My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that, he looks at you, are very low. It's true, my memory is a bit hazy. I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, he taps on the folder in front of him. I have a big, fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have lots of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out. Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm this. I'm sure you had concerns you thought I might be able to help address. He pauses to look down at the brown folder on his desk. And you were probably right. I can. Are you trying to tell us you've gotten hold of some of our documents? The lieutenant inspects over his spectacles. Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Where did you get that folder? Ah, this? He closes the folder. My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. He turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. Let's get this straight. What is my full name? It's Harry. He glances at the folder. Harry Dubois. Oh, fuck. You don't feel like either one of those things. That's not my name. My name is Raphael Costo. Fine, Harry. He waves you off. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Costo, or whatever you choose to be. Lieutenant covers his face and sighs audibly. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. He frowns at Kim. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of a family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? You're right, I don't. That's why I like you, Harry, his fat finger pointing at you. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you're one of the all-time great. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, he turns a couple of pages in the... If I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. What? I'm not apologetic, I'm confident. Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry, he chuckles. You're a real man's man. Have another look at that folder. Oh, come on. Nope. Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you here. About me. I'm sure it's not that bad, the lieutenant whispers. At worst, he has old RCM folder and I've ran out. Harry, he says gently, I just know the things that matter to our friendship, and I want you to feel free to ask me about those things. Let's talk about other matters for Aren't you going to ask how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia and your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Tap your chest. Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I'm a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree? You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my, he smiles pleasantly. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with it. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. Staying on. Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene, worker boot. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need your help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please go easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He turns back to you. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. I told the Union is involved in the local drug trade. What? He smacks his forehead, completely flabbergasted. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? No comment. Harry, he sighs, you wound me, Harry, in the heart, but I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we? Thank you for understanding. The lieutenant looks him in the eye. We will continue to do what we must. You too, Lieutenant. Heh. He chuckles suddenly. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. None taken, the man quickly replies and turns to you. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry? Everard, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait. He leans, reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Thanks. I was wondering how I was supposed to get out of here. Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. Sweet. Okay. Lots going on. Lots of story. Let's talk to the door. Does that show up on the map? Even though it does. You don't have to fail to get it added. Rain is happening. Sweet. The notice says in case of strike, press button behind security guard. Can we see what's up with like the other these Union dudes? Was it this guy? Was this Sean?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
Labored utopia, not including. It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. He nods solemnly and then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. Any idea who killed the hangman? The mercenary? Aye? Drugs. Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? He shakes his head solemnly. The Merc was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belt, one used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors. What a thought, he scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Pushed how? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. Hold up, does that mean he was an agent of the opposition attempting to undermine our honorable efforts? Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of skills. He means a more violent faction easily take care of such a thing. Understood. The lieutenant takes a note. This has been of limited use still, thank you. No problem. I wish my best to you in your search. Sure, I am glad it's not my search. He takes a sip from his flask. Hey, you're the man in boots at the gate. Kuno said you know about the armor. Heh, he smiles. The little booyah did good on his promise. His promise? To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words, not mine. What happened? Oh, I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison pitch. He's got eyes everywhere and the cops in his pocket. He's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I still dropped that probe right then and there. And it still got me into trouble, he smiles. One bad move is all it takes. The probe and Sakuno used us to what? Scare you? It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. Contemplates taking a swig from his flask. He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then. The probe into the armor, what did you learn? I learned that people don't want to talk to drunk union man about some armor. What else? Not much. Technical stuff, mostly. That was the interesting part. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library, he explains with a wry smile. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off. How does it come off? In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kids say he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. Boots were still on the guy last I saw, too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing, the gauntlets and the cuirass. That's where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Hold up, 4 pieces, helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots, what about the leggings? Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they did at all. He gives you a jolly shrug. Forget about them, I did. I'm ambitious. I'm gonna find all of it, all the pieces. All of it? The lieutenant raises his brow. There are junior officers out there eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay, let's find all of it. A message, guess, epic, cross market, that's the southward. I hope it'll be a real bonanza for you. Thank you for the cooperation, sir. No problem. Finally takes a swig from the flask. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Manana. Thank him for showing me the way. He is sincerely grateful and he is not tracking him. Everard said you had a key to the door. A key, huh? He runs his fingers through his mustache. What door is this supposed to open? He said it belonged to a weasel. Oh, say no more, I got you. He taps inside of his nose with a little wink. Need a basement apartment. I got that key right here. Let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not opening this door for myself. I'm opening it for all you working in. I knew this man was a commie. He smiles, tilting his head. It's a good thing you're doing it too, thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling and rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. It means we keep out of each other's business. Okay, where did you get the key from? The janitor gave it to me, nice fellow. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. His gaze wanders off into the distance. None of this mess we're in, this jiving and juggling. What's it for? He doesn't wait for your answer. To feed our children, I guess. Anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person? When he'll get home? When he'll be home? Shakes his head. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for. The man takes a big sip from his glass. Who he is and what they're fighting for? This is interesting. Ask him about the Hardy Boys. Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys? Plus Arties? He smiles. They're an independent militia group, a bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that, except it's Everart's law. He takes a swig from his flask, but really, they're just like you. Why are you striking? We're negotiating our share. Your share? Aye, he gives himself. Wait, so not wages or pensions or this stuff they already cover. At least you got the benefits. That's something. It's not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. How large a share would you like? All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board so they can take part in the decision-making process. Are you a communist? No. Pauses to think for a moment. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying, I want it all to myself, is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are, I can't and I shouldn't. The stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic. Why not call yourself a communist? I have nothing against communists. They are honorable. He takes a swig from his flask, and they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code. Then I will have to submit to a new one, which may as well be communism. It sounds like you're a communist who thinks he isn't doing enough to call himself one. See, I am primarily a lazy person. He looks very amused, if thinking about some sort of joke or mystery. This boss of Rart, what can you tell me about him? I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've been in drugs. In my eyes, he's a capable organizer. What does bossing the union entail anyway? I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own. By that you mean corruption? By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, and in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciated you. He is, personally, not too lavish. That desk seemed lavish to me. He is reasonably lavish, sure, that's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are non-corrupt systems. There are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all. You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. He spreads his arms wide, using the reach to know how much time he has. Fortunately, there's always time. The look in his brown eyes conjures up and having content time is the most important thing. It all comes together now, the way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. Follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian blah blah blah, an appropriation of Vesper. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, though you're... Maybe I am a boy Daryl? No. No. Man sits on the railing and says, blah, blah, blah. We're talking. Okay, that was a fucking lot out of this one guy. That didn't think. Yeah. See what's going on.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath the man, but she...
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity? Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy. It's really hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
Like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned. Wait, Al-Ghul?
Yes, Al-Ghul.
But what is Al-Ghul?
Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land. Correct, my small skull servant.
You're right. I am a servant of Al-Ghul. I still need you to respect the law.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is reigning.
The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need you to help me do my job.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
The situation is serious. Your people probably killed a man.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminole Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are done, we will build a museum. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality called art and your microcephalic colors.
Everard told us you could help us get a body down from the tree. So it was you surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. He turns to Kim, both of you. Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that? This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with the compromise. Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Okay then, wait here while Measurehead goes. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. Okay. Is it just gonna pass time or something? The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. He turns to you. So you guys are like cops or something? Yeah, we're the law around here. Cool. I like men with guns and power. The woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? The lieutenant looks toward the yard. That sound, he's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish you could see it. I don't. I've seen enough of that dead body already. Look at you, RCM Rent-A-Cops. A loud voice booms from below, guarding that bridge like Everard's lapdogs. Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale? And who are you? The lieutenant fires back. What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? It's none of your business. Shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno, and then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. Nipping. The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes the wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. There's been no side choosing. We did what we had to do to keep order. He nods slowly, and what you had to do was become a union man for all to see. Isn't Everard, the union boss, white? Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. He turns his eye toward the harbor, seemingly bored with it. Yes, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your life? Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital Something your race naivistic communists never did. Also, serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Communism is pretty cool. Idiot, I'm just role-playing this guy as a communist because it's funny. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you, the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order, individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases, above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? He leans closer. Degenerate youth culture, rock and roll music. I have gotten it from disco, actually. Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race. Okay, I'll ask. Who are the Seminese? The South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulidian archipelago. We descended from the Aeropagites, ancient Arcanassus, arrived here 4,000 years ago, millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know. So you were born and raised in the islands before you moved to Revachol. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Nolpur are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminese women walk into the gray mass on Isle Defentum, waiting on immaculation. So you did come from the islands? No, Francis said. I have heard about it on the radio. He would appreciate if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the limit. So you're not really Seminese, you're just from Revachol. I'm from Kuron, Ninja's Tactics, and no, it's not just in Revachol. This city is central to the Seminese strategy, spreading through its trade networks. Our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about your phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. Think upon it. Kim, what do you think about this? I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be a really good one. How do you know there will be a next racist? There always is. He nods approvingly. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys? I am not the first line of defense, I am the last. He looks toward the coast defiantly. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading. You're all part of the Union. The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone, and I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the 70s. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean? Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. He gestures to the hoary man down the street. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and the features. This should dispel any doubt. You're sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just observation. What else? It's impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered from the ravages of Al Ghul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Surla Clef and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi. Interesting. So one of my ancestors was Surla Clef and the other of Vesper? Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Revacholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al Ghul. That is the only reason you are here. He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober. Yeah, it's too bad I didn't get this check on day one. Or maybe it prevents me from having to pay rent in the future. I'm gonna knock this man out. Try this.
Race descent has only... Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Yeah. I bloody my own hand or something? What's going on? Is this a bug? Is this crashing the game? What is this? Seems like it. Alright. Well. Okay. Guess we just have to close it. Let me see if this recovers. Shitty. I know. Let's see if OBS picks it up. If not, I might cut the stream here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Maybe I succeed on the... I kind of just want to knock him out, see what happens.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Yeah.
You have really let yourself go.
Nice, just like that. Instinct took over, a solid strike straight to his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft plate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sound of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as the trickle of blood appears on the man's lip, as a trickle of blood. He's open, rip into him, right hook, escalate it, get intimate with him, bring the hurt closer. Back up and perform a 360 flying spin kick. Yeah, let's do it, boy. Oh shit! Awesome. The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button. Disco Inferno. As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side. Looks like you're the new measurehead now. Her voice is surprisingly calm. No one is the new measurehead. Let's go. Before he gets up, the lieutenant makes haste toward the door. Nice. Fucking dominated. The man is still knocked out. He breathes slowly and steadily. It'll take a few moments for him to recover. Pressing the button. Maybe it opens that door normally if you haven't gotten to it. Look at the journal. Oh, okay. Let's call her back. Inside. You heard back from ICP about the serial number? Yes, the armor was produced by, she looks at her note, Fairweather in the facilities in Ventacourt, Servleclef in 42. It was part of a special order for the Corps de Pharmacie security firm contacted contracted to protect the interests of Oran's pharmaceutical company, the Seminese. She browses the pages. So it seems the armor went to Simonine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over the years since. Do you know what it's called now? The most recent registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Krenel, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor. Armor like this isn't mass produced. It would have probably been fitted. Perhaps there's a record of who signed for this particular suit of armor. A suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of the person. Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk to them into it. This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond her job by road. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM. Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case. Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then. The afternoon sun shimmers off the white and on blue police livery motor carrier. Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to do something important, something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machine. Even at a standstill, the unibody Capri Kinema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently. That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Point to the vehicle. Very cool. The lieutenant smiles ever so slightly. You want to take a closer look? What's it packing there? 130. Mama's serving some serious macaroni. You lost me there. He's looking at you. 130 kilowatts is a lot of power, Kim. The Kinema is fast, feels right at home on the raised motor track. Hard to find something that could overtake it. Fine machine. Yes, there's a gentleness in the ordinary machine. It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up, slam it down. You need to slam it, Kim. Make it more imposing. Sorry, I'm not following you. Lingo it up. Drop the ride, 200 mil. Get the camber to frosty minuses. No, that's porno tuning. Use bigger words. It needs a massive aero kit and gargantuan roof-mounted porno. That's short for pornography. Pornography is something completely different, Kim. That's a negative on the porno. Thank you, though. What in there made the infernal whining sound that woke me? You mean the coil noise? What is coil noise? When variable current passes through wires that make up coils on the electrical system, causes vibration in wires and the cores of the coils. When the frequency of the current in the coils falls within the audible range, the resulting vibration creates the whiny sound you make. What a binoclard. Whatever you do, don't make fun of the lieutenant for explaining this. It's like coil whine in like a graphics card or something. Wow, how did you know all that? I have pretty much maintained my vehicles by myself ever since I was... Ever since one was assigned to me. You would inevitably pick up some knowledge on the way. There's pride in there. A trained driver. A train driver knows his ride. Okay, let's move. Yeah, let me see if I can figure out how to get up on the roof. I don't know how to get up. Well.
Can I help you?
So the phone line is dead? Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. He shakes his head and adds, "Losers." Is it true there was foul play? He wrinkles his nose. Who told you that? It doesn't matter, I just want to know who you suspect. Fine, yeah, it looks like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes. If you want to find who cut the line, though, let me know. So I can forward them the repair. Got my bill for today. Got the 20 real. I have this giant novelty check. You must be kidding, right? He stares at the large novelty check, baffled. Yeah, good one, officer. Real funny. But this establishment only takes cash. Now, do you have that cash, Mr. Novelty Check Man? Ritz. Near the gates. The lieutenant sounds tired. They'll exchange. Not yet. But let's go over here.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you're actually here. Titus Hardy, even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push hers. Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot. You're not here to chat up the legal counsel, you're here to question these men. You set the pace of this topic and conversations you established. He said Mr. Everard sent you to law school? I represent the union and these men here. She points to the crew around the table. Don't make this personal. A very minor victory. Oh wait. Let me save some. Oh wait, no, it was outside? I thought we quick saved. You're talking to her, maybe not.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. There's the 8th Hardy Boy. What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. He sizes you. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring. He shakes his head. Actually, boss, we've been talking, and we think maybe he could this person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I'll do the talking here. What the fuck do you want, cop? Let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy, and it's a she, and you don't like us talking about her. That's right, we're not talking about this. This is for private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And, he points at Kim, you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you. Good, we're all watching each other. The Justice Spectacle. Officer, your question? There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy soon. Oh, okay.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back, unruffled. There's no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies at First Street, 41. That's a funny joke. They refer to it as 41, Precinct 41. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south. Did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprint. He taps in his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grace? No. The thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant. No, you do the honor. You've earned it. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete on something. Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. You get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even... You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. He grins. For the good of the community, of course. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off of poisoning your own people. Who fucking who? People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized. Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized, and the Hardy Boys are running it. Theoretically, of course, we're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here. Wait. My answer is fuck off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn... Finally, you got something out of him. And here we go. Back to the usual. I know. The little man raises his index. Raises his index finger. What? Excitedly, Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis. Oh, Hardy Boys with it. Up. Nice. That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know? Already. Authority is... Oh, God. One of those. What is my authority's down because what? I'm like a sorry cop. Thoughts? -1 authority. Oh, for being like a communist. How much skill points do I have? Oh. 1, 2, 3. I've been reading this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's level up a third.
It's you again. What is it? It's you again. What is it?
Damn. No. Actually, I'm gonna save some. I want to stop doing. Not the best way to play this, probably.
It's you again. What is it?
As you look around this room full of sweaty men swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? Where have I seen this before? You believe it was a place called Precinct 41. It was filled with almost exclusively men sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time. I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here, huh? You must be... You're like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand. He leans in. You got a problem with beer now? Not quite there yet. Push on. No, I'm also a big fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people. You're saying we don't help people? He puts his beer down. I've been doing this job for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together. They don't know, man. They weren't here. He turns to you. We had 3 shootings a week. Kids dead. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s. Congratulations on the graffito removal. He turns to Titus. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim. So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck. He picks the beer back up. Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already. Okay. Someone's been raped. She needs counseling. We need to talk to her. Titus, he looks at her. She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's gonna give it up, but on his terms. You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you talk to her. But you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, Titus taps his chin with his fist. A freight train of pain, buddy. The lieutenant takes out his notes. What is her name? Yes. Lachey Amandu. She's staying here in the whirling in rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. Ah. Okay, so is she... Titus adjusts his cap. That's Amandu with an OU. Shit, the girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what you said to her? You told her you want to have... Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, it's her. It's definitely her. It's Miss Orange Disco Dance. Said, I want to have fuck with you. Said, you're a sorry cop. Sure, why not? You've probably seen her around. He nodded upstairs. That's different. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming at your brow as Titus looks at you. I don't understand what's so cool here. Nothing. He gives you a sideways glance. We have a few more questions. Whatever you do, do not tell him that you know her. That would sound off. Sorry, so what was her relationship with the mercenary? Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. You raped her, that's the relationship. Something is here. His anger is excessive. It was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing. Okay, enough. All this is irrelevant to your stated investigation. So, scratch your head. What was your relationship with her? I know her. He looks around the room. He looks around, and an uncommon silence fills the room. How well do you know her? Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months. Crosses his arms. So she's not from around here? You mean Revachol? Nah, our Miss Orange disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. We've been staying here over the winter. Don't you give her any more trouble, the fat guy blurts out. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. He slaps his forehead. She doesn't need your help. Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silence? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. We should keep picking at it. And what was up with that, with the partying Titus did? It sounded fun. So, the rape, what was that? When was that? He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. Crushes the half-empty beer can. But what does it matter? It would help if we establish a timeline. Alright, 2 weeks maybe? I don't know. I need another beer. He turns to Glenn. Here you go, boss. The tall blonde throws him a can. I just cracks it open. You said you partied. Cool, that's cool. But what did you mean? What do you think I meant? Was it sex? Yeah, pretty much. So you're saying the two of you were close? No, we just fucked, that's all. He states matter-of-factly. I'm not going to give you any details if that's what you're after. Put your dick away. He really went out of the way to seem calm. Topic. That's all you're going to get for now. That's all. We'll talk later. Talk to her. He points his beer can at you. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that?
What was what? You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. He looks you in the eye. Do you know that woman? Is there something I should know before we talk to her? I tried to hit on her. Understood. He's stone-faced. She said I'm going to have to interrogate her later and it's going to suck for me. It is, he nods. This would have been good to know before. It didn't come up. It should have. Anything else? He knows I didn't remember being a cop. Okay, he nods. That's manageable. I met her in the hallway after I woke up. But you were not in good. I didn't rape her. What you're saying is, he says in a low-calm voice, raped her? Ice is forming on the inside of your chest cavity. Cold sweat trickles down your neck. Oh. Then don't ever say that again. What else? Probably stupid. Like that line at all. Nothing. Let's move on. He nods. We'll be all right, officer. feel fortified by his assurance. Before we do any of this, let's go cash that check and hold the rent, I guess. Probably gonna stop for a little while here in a second. I might pick it back up later tonight and do kind of a late night stream. I might be up late tonight, but probably gonna call it here in a sec, at least for this part. This part's gonna be incredibly long. Alright, that's just true.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Does Fit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags? A warehouse? I don't know, maybe. I don't care what Fit does. Come on, give me something to work with. Here. She looks up from her under her brow. Fine, Fit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here, okay? She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Can you tell me anything about this reality we're in? Reality? You mean... what reality? Economic reality, or... Yes, tell me about the economic reality. I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. 15 is an excellent time to learn about the economic reality. Yeah, she looks at the clock on the wall. That's why I'm working my ass off in Frit, so I guess, like, that's economic. What about the physical reality, then? I don't know. What about it? Where are we? We're in Frit. No, I mean, where are we on a larger scale? As mankind, or as a nation, or... as a mankind. In a good place? She rubs her face, thinking. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know. She shrugs and then folds the magazine back. What time is it? I don't know. He looks at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall. The clock shows the time. The clock doesn't. What is the revolution? When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy? What about the one we had here in Revachol? Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this, at history, I mean. The coalition, what's that? Somebody told me there is. Our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. I won't bother you with this nonsense. Cool, she seems happy to return. I need to exchange this novelty check for cash. Wow, I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Rolls up a giant novelty check. Looks like I think she's seen it before, and slips it under the counter. Anything else I can do for you? Pull the whole thing and on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers, man. Why is there a bug where the beer won't leave my hand? Do I need to, like... That's an unfortunate bug. Is that never gonna go away? Press space to stop. All around you, rain falls in the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. Snow is melting. Oh, this looks really cool, zoomed all the way out like this. What am I doing? Looking up at the sky, cold water drips from the hat. What do I see? Gray sky like great battleships, cloud collide with one down the wind. Does it feel? Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain. The city shivers around. What is in the west? Sheets of rain cover over the water. Flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wait after wind. Ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble in the inlet. Beyond the bay of Revachol, ghosts rise into the sky. Who are you, ghosts? Skyscrapers of Liddell to the financial. You ever go there? Will I? No, you're just one of the hundreds of thousands who fly across the bay from is down the shore. Urban coastline range. Beyond that, fingers to the dampened. Here's north. This is the east. This is so much. Alright, I'm gonna exhaust these. This is so much. Okay, cool. I got experience. Whatever. That was like a lot. We're gonna do. Alright, I think we're gonna leave it here, actually. This is good for now. When we come back, we will talk to Kuno here and mess with the body. Talk to the woman again. Like that. Good though. Okay. Awesome, y'all. This has been my part 4 of Disco Elysium. I will see you back in the next one. Peace.